Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Bright Ideas Podcast. As always, I am your host, Trent Deersmid, and this is the podcast where I share the stories of today's most successful entrepreneurs and, more importantly, try to extract all the very best golden nuggets so that you can go ahead and implement these ideas in your business starting today, not even tomorrow, starting today. And my guest on the show today is a fellow by the name of Dr. Travis Zigler. He is a recovering optometrist turned e-commerce entrepreneur. He's the founder of iLove, which is at ilovethesun.com. And their mission is to heal a million dry eye sufferers naturally. Dr. Travis and his wife, Dr. Jenna Zigler, used the profits from iLove to fund free clinics in Jamaica and the US through their charity, the I Love Cares Foundation, which is at ilovecares.org. Travis, thank you so much for coming and making some time to be on the show.
Trent, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here and glad you're having me.
So in your own words, with whatever you'd like to add to the bio there, who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, so as you alluded to, that I'm a recovering optometrist, meaning I used to practice optometry, became a doctor in 2010 and practiced for about 7 or 8 years. My wife and I in 2015 actually went all the way down to South Carolina from Ohio, started 2 practices, and we also started an online business called iLove. iLove actually took off a lot faster than our practices were doing. And so we decided to sell both of our practices and focus full time on iLove, which is where we're at today. We're 2 years in full time to this, and we're loving every second of it. And then due to the success of iLove, a lot of people have asked us to help them with their Amazon management or Amazon PPC. And so I've created a second business that is more of a consulting agency or an agency for Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And with a partner, my best man at my wedding, and I started that business, and we help brands scale on Amazon.
Okay, and you do that by focusing on running their PPC campaigns?
You got it. Yep. Pay-per-click advertising.
Okay. So initially, I'm guessing the first couple of clients came from people who just knew you. They saw the success you were having and they're having a beer with them or what have you. And they're like, hey, Travis, how can you help me be more successful?
100%.
Eventually that close first degree of circle of influence list sort of dries up, and then you have to put on your big boy pants and attract clients that didn't know you beforehand. So tell me a little bit about your client attraction strategy, because that's the part that I think is going to be the most helpful for the audience, because it's replicable for them if they don't necessarily have the personal network that maybe you had when you first started.
Yeah. So the funny thing is we were starting to grow, and we noticed that we needed to hire another team member. And so what we did to hire this team member is we actually created an SOP around every system that we have in our business, which is pretty standard for a business when you're starting to grow. But instead of just like keeping it internal, I threw it out to the world. And so the first thing we created was a free Amazon pay-per-click course,
Mm-hmm.
meaning that you could walk through exactly how we train everybody that works for us. And it's an 8-week, it's actually turned into like 11 blog posts now, but it's 11 blog posts that have videos accompanying them. And each video walks you through a step of the Amazon PPC process that we use in the agency side. And then what we started doing is just advertising for that course. And we did a YouTube ad, and that YouTube ad was just, hey, we have an Amazon PPC course. Come take it. It's free. No obligations. I mean, you don't even have to pay anything for it. We don't even have a shopping cart on our website. It's just a blog. And
So there's no opt-in
go ahead.
even? There's not even an opt-in form to get access to it? It's not gated?
Yes and no. So it's gated in a way. We drive all traffic to a lead generation form or an opt-in form. And then they get a drip sequence every 3 days with the new blog posts of the new, like the next step in the process.
Okay.
But we also give them access to the whole thing right away. So there is a page that has links to all like 10 of the blog posts. And so they can click and go through at their own leisure as well. And so we have both. I'm not too concerned with getting the email. We get the emails, of course, but the client is what we ultimately want, and just to give value to people.
Mm-hmm. So you're finding that because you're packing so much value into this free training, even though you're not making it mandatory to give you an email to get the content, that you are getting a return, obviously, on the ad campaigns that you're running on YouTube. Because
Yeah. So
people are consuming the content and they're just reaching out and saying, "Hey, I want to hire." Yeah, I'm assuming you must. What do you have call to actions in the videos? Like, how do you? You
yeah,
kind of got to tell people what to do, otherwise they don't know what to do.
exactly. So at the end of every training, at the end of every blog post, there is a call to action it's called "What's Next with Your Amazon PPC," and I coach people around it. But then we also have our agency, and so there's a scheduling link right there for my calendar. We jump on a 30-minute phone call, and that 30-minute phone call, we just discuss your business goals for Amazon, for your business, and we only work with about maybe 1 in every 10 people that I talk to, because it's
Mhm,
not just an interview of you thinking about trying to hire me. It's
mhm.
me thinking if I
Thinking
want to
about
work
trying to.
with you.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing, because I turn down people all the time because they're just not a fit. We're looking for brands that want to scale. We're not looking for somebody that's trying to get rich on Amazon, that's just trying to get a quick cash flow, because
Mhm,
it's not what I value. My business is based around building a brand, and I want to be around people that are trying to build that as well. And so for every 10 people I talk to, maybe one I offer to. And so
mhm.
it's very selective.
And then for the one that engages with you, what does that look like typically in terms of revenue for your company?
Yeah.
Either monthly or annually, however you can quantify it.
Yeah, so the beginning prices, so we do it on a revenue that we make them on Amazon basis minus their ad spend. And so we want to make sure that they're profitable, of course, or they'll fire us, number one. But we also want to make sure that we're not just blowing through a bunch of money to increase the revenue to make us a lot more money.
Hmm.
So we do kind of an Amazon revenue minus the Amazon spend model. And then it's just a flat rate based on that. And
So
so,
give me an
yeah.
example with actual numbers.
So we start out at about $2,500 a month for running your ads and a little bit of your Amazon management as well. And then it can go all the way up to our highest client pays about 10,000 a month right now. And
Okay.
so it's fun because we know how fast we can grow somebody and scale them. And it's just a matter of following the step-by-step system that we have. Here you go, you can have
Hmm.
it. But if you don't want to do it, we're here for you. And if
Hmm.
you're a brand that wants to scale, we'll do that as well. But we start at about $2,500 per month, and then if we're completely bringing you onto Amazon, there's an additional fee as well per item that we're bringing on, which is about $500 to $1,000, depending on the intricacies of the item. Some are a lot harder to get onto Amazon, and you have to have permissions, and that takes a lot of work for us. But some are easier, so 500 to 1,000 per product, and then the $2,500 a month starts when we start selling for you.
Okay. So $2,500 a month is your flat retainer to say, I'm going to run your ads. The client's going to pay for the ads, not you.
Yep.
You're then, if they want to launch new products that aren't yet on Amazon, to create the listing, shoot the photos, all that kind of thing, you're charging $500? Or are you expecting that they're creating the product listing and you're charging $500 to run some launch campaigns? Like, to tell me how that works.
Yeah, great question. So the $500 to $1,000, depending on the item itself, is we write the copy for you. So we'll do the title, the bullets on Amazon, the description on Amazon. We don't do photos because photos is a whole different ballgame. We focus
Yeah.
on words.
Yeah.
Photos are just a whole new. We'll give you best practices of this is what we want to see on the photos. This is what they should be doing.
Yeah.
And then here's a couple of photographers that we've used in the past. Because I mean, a good photographer costs $500 to $1,000
Yeah.
just for a product. So um, our onboarding is just the copy side and what's called keyword research in the Amazon world, which is where I guess it's in every world, right? It's where we just dive into the words that we think are going to convert best that aren't as competitive, and then we go after those words.
And when you're launching the new products, because I'm pretty familiar, given the fact that I own an Amazon business and have for years, I know a lot of the players in the ecosystem, and there's all sorts of folks out there now running launch campaigns they used to use big giveaways, and now they're using Messenger, and they're doing 100% refunds, and a whole bunch of stuff which is working really well. It's not necessarily entirely white hat and in line with Amazon's terms of service. So when you are launching a product, you're charging $500 to $1,000 to write the copy. They're getting a photo. So at the end of the day, they've got a listing. They still don't have a product launch behind that product. Are you encouraging them to figure that out on their own? Or are you saying, hey,
We
we have a
definitely help.
strategy?
Yeah, we definitely help with the whole process, and it's something that we'll recommend best practices in that as well. We usually do the early review program in Amazon. We'll usually sign them up for the Amazon Vine program, which can get you about 30 to 35 reviews right away. It costs money, of course. My wife and I also have a YouTube channel called The Dry Eye Show, and it seems to be happening that all our clients have been around the health space, And so our customer list that we have, which is approaching about 100,000 in our business, is kind of directly translating into these other supplement areas because we don't sell those supplements. So we can launch to
Mm-hmm.
our list as well. So they
Mm-hmm.
kind of get us as an influencer as well in that space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then, just teaching them how to, the debate is always like, do you want to send them to your Shopify store or send them to your Amazon channel?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we have to try to figure out what's best for them. We have one client, it's one of our best clients. She is a pure Shopify website person, and all traffic goes to Shopify.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants to drive no traffic to Amazon, which we're okay with,
Mm-hmm.
because then what we do is we just create this brand protection around her so that when people go off of her website, come over to Amazon, they'll find her and her only, and not her competitors, which is
Yeah.
tricky. And a lot of people don't do that. And
And does she
so,
even price it a little higher on Amazon to try and get people to buy from Shopify, or does she price it the same?
yeah, so it is a little higher on Amazon, but hers is pretty high end to begin with.
Yep.
And she has trouble keeping in stock, which is even a better problem to have.
Yeah.
Um, and so she's a really successful website. She's built her website really well, and then we helped her get on Amazon, and literally it was just like adding fuel to the fire because it just took off really fast. And just by following the strategy that we teach, putting a couple defensive ads in, which are just going after your brand name and making
Mm-hmm.
sure you're defended there and creating a moat around your
Mm-hmm.
brand, and that just helped her take off on Amazon really fast.
Okay. And in her case, did Amazon end up eclipsing Shopify in terms of gross revenue just because Amazon's such a huge machine, or no?
Not at all. Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Because she's a very high end product. So we can't really go after the keywords like we can with most people, because it's harder to stay competitive when she's at 80
Mm-hmm.
and her closest competitor is at like 20. And so she is,
In dollars per unit.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's go a little bit deeper into how you're actually driving the leads with the paid traffic. I know that in our pre-interview, we talked about your YouTube video, but just kind of walk us through what's going on in that regard.
Yeah. So so this is like a side business for me. It's the Amazon agency side is, I do the strategy for it, and I do the videos, and I do the ads for it. But my partners, two of them, they do all the day to day. And so
Mm-hmm.
I spend Tuesdays. Tuesdays are my day for doing the strategy around this. And so I wanted to keep it as simple as possible because my focus is still on my brand and still building that I love. And so what we did is we just created a simple YouTube video that says, hey, I'm Dr. Travis Zigler, and if you're having trouble with Amazon PPC, I want to invite you to take my Amazon PPC masterclass. It's absolutely free. And it just it's like a 30-second elevator pitch. Click the learn more button down below, or head to, I think it's, I forget what my URL I created for it. That's how long ago I created it. But
Yeah.
what that does is when they click learn more, it goes over to a landing page. That landing page has just like a brief story of why I came out with this course. And then they can put in their email to get it. At the bottom of each message in their email and at the bottom of each blog post, it's a call to action to book a call with me. And I have actually the direct numbers of how much it costs to get me an email, how much it costs to get me a phone call, and then how many clients came as a result of that, if we want to go over that.
I do. What are those numbers?
Yeah.
Let's run through them.
So the cost per lead for an email is $3.36. So not too bad.
Okay.
Since we started doing this at the beginning of October, we've collected about 845 emails. And so usually, I don't even know what that average is. So that's 4 months.
Mm-hmm. 4 months is probably about $250 a month. No,
Yeah.
220 a month, 210,
200 some a month. Since then, we've had 65 phone calls, and it costs us about $40 per phone call.
That's cheap. That's a really great number if you're getting booked calls for $40.
And like I said, I don't accept too many people. But from that 65 phone calls, we've done 5 clients.
Okay.
And so
anyone who wants to book a call can book a call if they're going through your funnel. You're not opting them out. But when you do the call, then you're saying, even if they say yes, you might say no.
Exactly. Yep. So it's a dual interview process. I look at their goals that they want. If I can help them achieve those goals, we'll onboard them, and I'll make them an offer. Even maybe I'll offer them my coaching services as well.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't feel like I'm the best person to help them, I'm actually going to send them to somebody else. And so if they're new, I'm not the one for you. I'm a little too expensive for somebody that's new. And then I'll point them in the right direction of where to go, either my blog posts, or I have friends that have done training. that may be free, maybe not, and I'll send them to that. So either way, the 30-minute phone call or 15-minute phone call, however long it takes, could be the best, 30 minutes of their business that they spend all year, because it is almost
Hmm.
like a coaching call. And
Hmm.
then either they get their next steps that they need to do with us or with something else.
Hmm.
It's just, it's all about value. And that's all we're trying to do, is deliver value. And it's no high pressured sales. It's not make or break for me. My main business is
Hmm.
still I Love. That's my baby.
Hmm.
And this is just kind of, it's fun. This is like my release. It sounds crazy that another business is a release, but it is. It's my fun.
Yeah, actually, I've recently started doing exactly the same thing. I've got a program called Growth Systems for Entrepreneurs, because I realized that in my audience, in my sphere, there was a missing piece, and I've started to do these calls as well. And at one point in the call, I'll say, after I've given all this value and all this advice, I'll say, I have a coaching program if you want to hear about it. But if you don't want to hear about it, just keep asking me questions till our time's up. And that's the end of the day. And people always say, well, at that point, because you've added so much value, they say, no, actually, I want to hear about your coaching program. And so we talk about it. And it's been working exceedingly well. And this is not something I've ever done before. So I am actually having a lot of fun with it as well. So I would encourage
So
people to try it out.
yeah, and just give and
Yeah.
don't expect anything into return. And if you really want to like make a viral video or make your video go a little crazier, don't ask for anything. No call to actions. All you have to do is maybe at the end just say, hey, please share this. I'm just trying to help entrepreneurs. So if you want to help change the world, share this
Hmm.
video with your friends, and don't ask for a call to action. You could have one in the description of your video, but your video is more likely to get shared when you have fewer call to actions.
Hmm.
So it's more likely to go viral. Of course, if you're trying to sell them something, you can ask for a call to action. But, you know, the funny thing about this is seeing the success of this side, the Amazon PPC agency side, and seeing how fast that's taken off. And something I didn't mention was in the course itself or in the blog posts are affiliate links for the products that we use. And so that
Hmm.
started to build as well. But that's, again, a side thing. But what we've noticed is like, wow, we're just delivering value and we're just giving, and people are responding favorably for it.
Hmm.
So we
Yeah.
actually, now our videos on I Love, which is our main brand, we're now starting to just give value with no call to actions. We used to talk about our products in the video because our products were made to help that particular problem, but
Hmm.
we no longer do that. We just mention the generic version of our product. And we don't say, oh, check it out in the link in the description. We just kind of give value, and hopefully they'll respond by clicking the link to read the blog post
Hmm.
that talks about whatever we're talking about. And then it has like links to our products in there, but it doesn't directly talk about our products anymore because we just want to give value. And that's
Hmm.
all we're trying to do now.
Yeah, and in a world filled with marketers doing the hard sell, your approach is obviously a nice shift. In terms of, so you said you won five clients over 4 months, if I've got my notes correctly.
Mhm.
So what was the total spend on ads during that 4 months to get five clients? Because I want to boil this down to a cost per client acquired.
Yeah. So $2,600 in that 4 months.
Okay, so you are basically getting your money back within the first 30 days.
Easily. Yeah. So not even the first 30 days, the first day. And so when we
Well,
sign
that's
on a
true. Yeah.
client, that's when they pay their $2,500 to get us going, or to get them going. And so, like I said, I don't really pay attention to the numbers. I should. I'm
Hmm.
just, with that business, if the bank account is going up, that's a good thing.
Hmm.
And sounds crazy. It's not the way to manage your business. I don't recommend it. I actually recommend Profit First by Michael
Hmm.
Michalowicz.
We use that.
That's, yeah. So that's what we use in I Love. And eventually I'm starting to shift. Like, we need to probably start doing that in this business too, because it's starting to get a little bigger than we thought it would get. But it's just scaling people, and everybody in the business is a profit sharing partner. And so um, my partner and I were the first two. And so all of his clients, we do 50-50, since I'm the one that's outreaching. So
Hmm.
he gets 50% of that $2,500. I get 50%. And that's after all expenses are taken out. And then our next team member, he's going to get probably 33%, or maybe he'll get 50%. And then the two founding partners will be 25% each. And
Hmm.
so we're just a profit sharing system where the person that's managing that account gets the 50%. And then the other 50% goes to maybe an upline. It's almost like an MLM, but it's scaling people.
Yep.
And that's kind of our goal, is we're just trying to, profit share. So if you can take on more clients and keep them satisfied, then you will make more money. And that's it.
So you have no fulfillment burden on your desk at all. When someone says yes, they're then immediately going to your team to do onboarding and fulfillment and all the things that have to happen. You're
Yep.
literally just the guy running the ads and right now
In the
the guy
strategy
doing
of the whole
calls.
overall
Yeah.
company.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep. Do you ever have intent to replace, like right now, I'm doing all these free coaching calls, but there's only so much time that I have available to do that, and so I plan on bringing other people onto the team to be able to do those. Are you going to do something like that, or do you want to keep it where you're just the guy?
Yeah, I love being the guy, but I think 100%. If you want to scale it beyond where you're at now, you have to have other people doing those sales calls because my calendar is booked out 2 weeks right now,
Yeah, so is mine.
and that's where our bottleneck is right now.
Yeah.
Is bringing on clients, is making sure. So we're actually going to switch it around a little bit. They have to fill out a survey first, and then if the survey looks okay, then I'll offer them an appointment. This is what we're going to switch to. But if they're a newbie on Amazon, then I'll offer them a solution just through the email to not
Hmm.
book my calendar up as much.
Hmm.
But my founding partner is actually getting better than me at Amazon PPC because I'm the CEO role in I Love, and I'm not doing Amazon PPC. I have somebody that does Amazon PPC in I Love as well in my business, um, and we've trained her through this program as well. And the so that's my full time job. And so with him, he's starting to learn more about Amazon PPC than I am because he has more time to dedicate just to that. And so him being on the sales calls might be even better in the future because
Hmm.
he's gonna be even more knowledgeable. And
Hmm.
so it's just a matter of once that trust comes, he'll sit on a couple of calls with me. And I think he's ready for it now. He's been in sales before, so it's nothing new to him. And then we can just keep adding team members to that sales process as we keep going, as we keep building.
Have you documented your sales script yet?
Um, so we kind of follow, I don't know if you've ever heard of Clients on Demand. It's a
Yeah.
phone sales program. And we took that last year. And so we kind of follow their method. And that's what kind of shifted us to the service mentality versus the selling mentality when we do our videos and do our sales calls and everything.
So when I say, and to clarify for folks that are listening, when
Yeah.
I say sales script, what I mean is it's in our case, it's all the questions that I want to ask you during the consulting aspect of the call. And it is the talking points that only I would know because I'm the guy with all the experience. And of course, I wanted to document all those talking points so that when we have other people on the team, they're able to reference my experience because those talking points are there. And yes, when they say, yes, I want to know about the coaching call, there's a structured delivery method for explaining what's involved, the features, the benefits, the price, how to get them to think about value in their head, all that kind of thing. So it's not just a sales, it's more of a conversation script, I guess is the way, or not even script as much as roadmap.
Yeah.
Um,
So what we focus on with ours is, I don't have the exact like wording, but the goal of our sales calls is to have them talk,
yeah,
90% of the time. And
yep,
so that form that we give them to fill out before we jumped on the call, it goes over their number one goal, number two goal, number three goal, if what they're looking for in the coaching call. And so I just go write down that form. So tell me a little bit more about your number one goal of increasing
yeah,
to $1 million in the next 12 months on Amazon. How do you plan on doing that? They'll walk me through that process in their head, and then
yeah,
I can see if there's any problems with it and
yeah,
from there to see if we can help them get that. Because if somebody's selling one product and they're selling one a day and they want to get to $1 million in 12 months, it's not somebody I want to take on because they're not very realistic.
yeah,
Yes, it can happen and it does happen, but
but not
it's
often.
not the norm. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's rare.
yeah, that would be a big outlier. Are you doing any retargeting campaigns for the folks? Because obviously they're coming to your site, they're seeing the blog posts. You could easily pixel them and run ads.
We talked about this in the pre-interview, and I haven't started it yet. I feel so disappointed for not doing that, but it's such low hanging fruit that I just haven't got around to it. Because again, I'm the CEO of I Love, and we do a lot of retargeting in
Yeah,
that. But it
yeah,
would be such a simple retargeting for the affiliates for like the programs that we use. So they read this blog post about keyword research, and we use the program Helium 10. I could then retarget them on Facebook with a Helium 10 offer, and it
yeah,
has our affiliate link. So that's low hanging fruit, and then I could also offer the phone call as well. But I just haven't got around to it. We've been focusing on just creating more content and doing podcasts like this and just kind of getting our name out there.
yep. Okay. So we haven't talked much yet about how you structured the YouTube, because YouTube ads are YouTube ads the only ads that are running traffic into this funnel?
For
First part of my question.
Yeah, so for the free Amazon PPC Masterclass, yes, but we're also targeting different keywords for our blog posts. So like we have an Amazon keyword research blog post, and we'll drive Google search traffic to the Amazon keyword research blog post, and then there's a pop-up for the Amazon PPC Masterclass on that blog post.
Okay, so you're running Google search campaigns to target those keywords, and then you're
Mm-hmm.
running your video ad on YouTube. So let's talk about the YouTube ad campaign
Yeah,
structure, because I personally have never yet run an ad on YouTube. So I'm going to be taking some good notes because I'm going to be
you
doing
should.
this soon. Yes, should absolutely. And thank you for there'll be a link, by the way, folks, in the show notes to Travis's ad. I've watched it. It's the most non-salesy, simple ad ever, but I think that's the charm of it. So how are we getting eyeballs on that ad, Travis? Let's walk
So
through that.
that's the beautiful thing about YouTube ads. It's just like Google search. And so you can actually target on YouTube people that are searching for a specific term. So let's say, um, I'll just use my business as an example, actually. We target people that are searching for Amazon PPC. We target people that are searching for Amazon FBA. And so those two keywords are the only two keywords we target. And what we're so when somebody searches Amazon PPC, they'll see a bunch of videos. They'll click on one of those videos, and then that pre-roll that you notice on YouTube, that's where my ad shows up. And
Okay.
then with that ad, there's a learn more button
Yep.
during the ad that you've probably seen. You probably usually click the skip ad button.
Usually
But
I do. Well,
yep.
actually, I don't see the ads because I have a paid YouTube account now, so I don't see any ads.
You know what? I used to not see any ads because I had a paid YouTube account, but I actually told them to turn my ads back on because I wanted to get ideas.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I'd recommend, if you're going to go down the YouTube ads route, to turn them back on so you can actually just see them. But on the other side of the skip ads button is the learn more button. And so when they click that, they go over to the landing page. And the key thing is there you have 5 seconds to get them. And
Mm-hmm.
the first 5 seconds is so crucial.
You mean
I
once
don't
they hit the landing page?
no, actually once they hit the YouTube video.
Oh, true. Because if they click the skip button, you're done.
Yep, exactly. So the first 5 seconds has to be your call to action. So you want to call them out directly. So if you sell on Amazon, make sure you pay attention to this whole video.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you sell on Amazon, make sure that you pay attention to the next 30 seconds. So you let them know their expectation of how long it's going to be. You let them know that if they sell on Amazon, they should stay. Or if you sell on Amazon, if you don't sell on Amazon, skip this video now. Therefore, you don't have to
Yeah.
pay for it. So every
Yeah.
time you skip, you don't pay. So you only pay when they click the learn more button or when they've watched 30 seconds.
Okay. So setting that campaign up, I can't imagine that was particularly complicated because you went in and said, I want to be shown for these two keywords, and that was it.
Yeah, that's it.
Now,
Pretty easy.
can you on YouTube, can you say, hey, I want to be pre-rolled on this particular video?
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the even more beautiful thing. But that person has to be enrolled with Google AdSense and YouTube ads. And so they have to have, when you do a YouTube ad, you probably know this, but your viewers might, in the edit option settings of your video, there's a monetization tab, and you can actually turn monetization off for certain videos. So all of my PPC videos, I don't want monetization. I don't want to make
No,
a cent
because you're
per
going to
100
hijacking
views.
your traffic.
Exactly. They're hijacking your traffic. So if they have those turned on, you can show up for that particular video. So that can be very effective. I met somebody that uses the strategy that he targets just high traffic videos in general. So he'll
Yeah.
look up the hot music video that's going on right now, and he targets that video. And he just wants he wants millions of people to see his ad, and he doesn't really care because that one person that's going to click is all he wants. And it's an interesting strategy. I've never done that way. I always target keywords.
And what kind of results is he getting?
Well, he was on stage speaking about it, and that's how he made his millions. So it must work.
Really? I'll have to test that. Okay.
Yeah.
So it could be totally unrelated to his niche. He just basically looks at whatever videos are getting a
Traffic.
gazillion. So YouTube most popular videos, just pick those.
Sheer volume. That's all he wants. Yep. So like music videos is what he gave as the example. So like, I think at the time when he was up there, he was like, Miley Cyrus had a big music video that was getting just millions of hits. And so
Yeah.
he targeted that Miley Cyrus video, got a ton of traffic back to his blog, got a ton of leads, phone calls, sold a program, and he sells affiliate offers. And so he's not even involved with the actual delivery of the program.
Yeah, he's just purely in lead gen and closing, which is a very clean and tidy business model, to be sure.
It is.
Okay. So I'm looking through our notes from our pre-interview, and I think we covered everything that we said we were going to cover. Walk me through the experience really gets once they enter your funnel. We talked about that. If you were interviewing yourself, is there anything additional that I haven't asked you that you would ask that you think we need to shed some light on?
You know, we can always talk about like YouTube channel growth. You can always talk about like how we've kind of built this halo, this moat around our business.
Well, let's talk about YouTube channel growth for a minute. Where's your channel at these days in terms of subscribers?
So we're at about 34,000 in the Dry Eye Show.
Okay.
The Dry Eye Show is our I Love business. Again, our mission is to help 1 million dry eye sufferers naturally. And so
Okay.
we're at 34,000. We're growing by about 200 people per day. So an incredible way to grow is through YouTube.
How many videos per week or per month are you publishing on the channel?
We do anywhere from 1 to 3 a week, depending on how busy we are.
Okay.
And we like to go live. So I don't like doing the whole editing. I do editing, but it's just so much more fun to go live, and we mess up so much. And it's raw. You never know what's going to pop up live. You never know what a commenter is going to say or somebody's going to say. And I think YouTube preferences a live video over, a non-live video.
So you are doing a live stream on YouTube. So are you telling your audience in advance, hey, we're going to be live streaming at 2 o'clock today?
Yep.
And then you show up, and is your video just you talking, or are you interviewing somebody?
So the interviews that I do are always recorded. We release those on Wednesdays, and then Monday and Thursday we try to do a live video with my wife and I. So my wife and I, this is our studio right here. My wife and I will do a video. And then for the Amazon PPC business, I just started a channel in late September, and we're up to about, I think, 370 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're getting about 2 to 3 per day. But the key to YouTube channel growth, and it sounds crazy, you talk about one thing forever. And it's the exact same. It's owned by Google. It's the exact same as Google. So if you're starting an SEO blog or a blog, your SEO is all about talking about one thing. Google wants to know what you're about. The same thing as YouTube. They want to know what you're about. So my Amazon PPC channel is all about Amazon pay-per-click. And that's all I talk about. And then,
even though you've covered it already in 19 other videos, you're going to make video number 20 and talk about it using different words and a different angle and a different title yet again, right?
Amazon is coming out with so much right now that it makes it so easy. And it keeps us informed too, because it makes me stretch a little bit. It makes me kind of dig in a little bit more to each section of Amazon advertising, because there's so many different parts of it now. But something new comes out all the time with Amazon advertising. So it's nice in that aspect. It's also not nice when you're running an agency, you're trying to figure it all out. But that's our job, is to stay ahead of the curve. And like right now, Amazon sponsored brands videos is big right now. So if you shop on Amazon, you've probably started to see videos pop up, but not a lot because it's brand new. And so getting on that now is a lot less expensive than if you were to get on it in a year from now. And then with I Love, our main focus is, it's called the Dry Eye Show. So dry eye and blepharitis. Blepharitis is eyelid inflammation. So we just talk about that every Monday. We always talk about blepharitis or dry eye. Wednesday, we interview a dry eye specialist. Thursday, we talk about something other than dry eye. So we just did an intermittent fasting video that we released. We do videos on turmeric, keto, just
on the same channel.
Health. Excuse me. Yeah, all on the same channel.
But doesn't that fly in the face of what you just said? You said you want to do the same thing over and over, and now you're confusing YouTube because you're talking about turmeric.
You are correct in that. So 2 videos on dry eye and blepharitis. And since we've grown to that 34,000 point, I should have probably waited to do this until we hit 100,000, but we're starting to just branch out a little bit and explore. But we shouldn't do that at the beginning. So at the beginning, we're 3 years into this now. At the beginning, you just want to talk about one thing. So my channel right now for the Amazon PPC is all about Amazon PPC, whereas in our Dry Eye Show is now starting to branch off just a little bit. Not much, just a little bit though.
Okay, understood. All right. Well, I think we'll wrap here, Travis. Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing these wonderful golden nuggets for the folks who are still with us and listening. I hope you all agree with me that Travis did a fantastic job of sharing some simple yet highly actionable and highly valuable tactics with you. So if you are looking to go and attract more clients to your business, I would highly encourage that you create your free course and that you create a simple advertising video and you start driving traffic to it, because you got nothing to lose and a whole bunch to gain. So Travis, for anyone who wants to get in touch with you to talk about whatever, I would assume the simplest way to do that is just contact you on LinkedIn.
Yeah, you can contact me on LinkedIn,
Okay.
YouTube channel, Amazon
Okay.
PPC Pros, and then we have a Facebook community called Amazon PPC Pros as well.
Okay.
And we talked a little bit about like the scheduling link if anybody wants to go check that out, not just to schedule with me, but if you want to see what it looks like, go through the forms and everything. It's amazonppcprofessionals.com, and that will
Okay.
pop up my calendar. After you schedule an appointment, if you want to schedule an appointment, then it will pull up the form that I'm talking about. And maybe by the time this podcast comes out, it might be reversed where you have to fill out the form first and then get to my calendar.
Yep. Okay. Very good, Travis. Thank you so much for making some time to be a guest on the show.
All right. Thanks, Trent.